You should probably do Invisalign. Has your general dentist ever told you that? Recently, I had a patient come into the office who had been told some variation of, you would benefit from Invisalign. Who doesn't want Invisalign to straighten their teeth and give them a beautiful bite? It's better than braces, right? By the way, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, if you want to see more videos like it. Before we dive into Invisalign treatment, let me just show you a few things about this patient. First thing, when you're looking at the frontal smile, it means you can see the face and then them smiling at the same time. When you look at that, the front teeth follow the curvature of the lower lip. That is very aesthetic. And you're also saying, well, you know what? Maybe those teeth don't look too bad. Invisalign could do a pretty good job there. Well then, if you go to the bite inside the mouth, the front bite instead of the front smile, whoa, that's a little bit different. You can tell the teeth aren't touching. You got the top teeth up here and the bottom teeth down here instead of being together. That's called an open bite. Then you go to the side bite pictures and you get an even bigger picture. That's why you gotta be careful about just the frontal shots of the way that teeth look. You may not get the full picture on what the bite looks like. You can see that it's not just the front teeth that are apart. It goes a little bit further back. On the picture of the patient's right side, you see maybe there is a slight tendency towards an underbite, not as much. What we like seeing in bites is what we call a class 1. That's where the top canine, well specifically actually it's where the molar in the back relates to the bottom molar, first molar. We want the canine, top canine to be behind the bottom canine, but we don't want it way back here, right? That's when you get into an underbite. On this patient's right side, you can see that there's a slight tendency towards a little bit forward on the bottom compared to the top. Let's go to the other side, the left side of the bite. This side actually gives the appearance that the open bite is even worse. From the canine to the canine, you can see that there's a larger gap. It has the appearance that the top teeth are actually in front of the bottom teeth more on that side. Now it looks like we've got overbite. And as you can see on this side, right, the open bite goes towards the back as well. And we're even more so that class 3 relationship where the back teeth on the bottom are forward compared to the top teeth where they're supposed to be. We're crowded on the bottom. In fact, the bottom teeth look like they're tipped back. You can see how they don't make a nice arc form. If you were to take those teeth on the bottom and straighten them out, you know what would happen? We would go from overbite, where the top teeth are in front of the bottom teeth, to probably more of like an underbite. And that's because of the way that those teeth are set up. Some other unique things about this case, you can see on the side bites, the lower canines, right here and right here, their relationship appears to be even lower than the general, line of occlusion, like the back teeth you hear, and then all of a sudden like drops down, maybe goes up a little bit for the incisors. Same thing on the other side, it kind of like drops down and then goes back up, which a couple things can happen here. You have to try and bring those up, and when you're straightening out the bottom teeth, you know what's gonna happen while you're trying to bring those up and line it all up is those front teeth are gonna come forward and look like they're coming down more. So what's gonna get worse? The open bite. It's gonna look like the open bite is gonna get worse in the front. We don't want that. In addition, we have some crowns, which when we're talking Invisalign or even brackets, trying to glue anything to a crown can be tricky. Final picture that I wanna show you. This is an image of the x-ray. You can see top jawbone is a little bit forward compared to the bottom jawbone, but in the mouth, the teeth appear to be a little bit more forward compared to the top teeth. Added measure of complexity. You also note that the angle of the jaw, right, this part right here, down the bottom, the lower jawbone, it is quite steep. Call it a high mandibular plane angle. That is an associated factor with open bites. Now, when you're young and you're growing, sometimes you can try to modify that growth. There's been some research that suggests that you can modify that growth so that instead of growing down, you can grow more forward with the jaw, closing that bite more, but it's very tricky. You get the idea here, right? You can see that the bite is open and those bottom teeth are a little bit tipped back, and this is unique here, that area in the front, very, very, very thin bone. We saw how much crowding there was and how tipped back they were. If you were to line that up, that would come even further forward and it would probably interfere with the balance of the lower lip. So instead of having a nice, harmonious, soft resting position of your lips, it's strained and puffy. The way that an orthodontist will look at this is pretty in-depth. In this case, maybe it's not as simple as, hey, you just need Invisalign, or even braces for that matter. Different orthodontic providers may see a case like this and consider different things, including Invisalign, braces, surgery, extractions, mini screws, or the screws that go into your bone, TADs, rubber bands, maybe headgear, or other appliances that work in conjunction with each other to try and get you to the ideal bite and alignment of teeth. Now, of course, one of the options is, hey, yeah, I just want to straighten my teeth. I don't want to do all those things. And that would make it more simple, but even just straightening your teeth could actually make your bite worse, or the alignment, the aesthetics of it may get worse. So it's probably not just a walk in the park. There may be some dentists out there who don't have the orthodontic certification, but have spent considerable amount of time trying to learn on their own how to straighten the teeth and fix bites. But your dentist, when they offer Invisalign or braces, may just be considering a plan to straighten your teeth. And if that's what you want, but if you're thinking it's gonna be more, maybe you should ask some follow-up questions or come find your local orthodontist. I'm here in McKinney Texas. That's all I've got. Just a little PFO so you know where you're going. Packard out.